Hello everyone, this is the day 6, and in the day 5 we discussed about the overall user lifecycle management. Here day 6, 7 and 8 will specifically discuss about your joiner, mover and lever process. Okay. So the first one is when you say joiner, right? We should understand that this gets triggered only in the case of a new hire process. Whenever there is a new hire that is there in the organization. So we should also understand when we look at identity access management, the reason why I say IAM is widely used and will be widely used in the future, and there is a lot of demand because we have AI, ML, DevOps, all of that is good, right? Modern technology, and then it is growing. That's really fine. But when you see organizations who are already existing and who would want to exist, the two things they need is customers and employees. Now, the moment they have customers and employees, they cannot have process just lying around here and there. You should understand that, right? Because that is the basic basis in which the business is running. If we are not even in the position to safeguard my customers or safeguard my employees, then there is no point of having the business. When we talk about safeguarding employees and customer, we actually mean safeguarding what we call as identities. Okay? Identities. Eventually, this identity is tagged to a user, and this user either becomes an employee or customer. Fine. So now one of the process out of various process is how do you streamline and have a secure automated joiner process? Because I know companies that had like very bad experience with, let's say, 14 days or 20 days of joiner process. Like even after joining in, like this was a long time ago, even after joining they would still kind of go to different IT team and just move from one place to another for access. Same with customers also. Customers were onboarded, but the onboarding process was really poor. Hence, they used to leave the application and move out, or leave the business and move out. So this is where the whole joiner process comes into picture. Whether you are onboarding a new customer, onboarding a new employee, this remains the same, right? Definitely the application layer, what app you give to what type of users, that differs. But overall, the understanding should be same. That from a basic perspective, when you start a shop or a business, how do you allow your customers to sign in and get the business, or how do you ask let your employees get inside your system and run the business for you? That's where joiner comes into picture. Now, how new users get access, we'll discuss that. What's a joiner process? The starting point of the user lifecycle management, the ULM. This is the starting point. It is triggered when an employee, contractor or partner joins the organization. But we did discuss about there is a pre-step also, right, and a post-step. These are the two steps here. Creates a digital identity and provisions initial access. You'll get all your basic set of access. Okay, the basic set of access will be given to you. So there is nothing, I mean, to worry on whether if you log in, where will you log in? You have Teams access, Slack access, Microsoft Outlook, Office. All of that will be basic level of access will be given. Okay. Now let's understand quickly steps to establish a user identity. First, an employee, contractor, or partner joins the organization. Yes, I'll just be, I think in one of the sections after the JML, I'll also be talking about user personas, right? What are the different user personas, how we should be looking at them, how design are created, how like the flows are. So I'll definitely talk about user personas. Okay. So that'll give us idea around how do we manage partners, customers, employees, suppliers. Then in customers also we'll have various different type people in different region. What so all of that will be covered. So again, one thing I just want to tell everyone is I'm just trying to compress everything. Hence, it may sound a little bit fast forwarded type of thing, but one topic can be expanded up to 1 hour sessions also. But this is just an attempt for all of you to kind of go quickly brush your learnings, or someone is new to kind of completely get a basic level of understanding of what the whole identity access management and security is all about. and how it works on the security level. Okay, so user joins, an employee, contractor, or partner joins the organization. Okay, and a digital identity is created for the new hire. You get your email ID, right, or employee number, those things, ID card, and those details will be there. Okay. Then, basic level of access is provision. User is granted initial access to necessary systems. Some of the necessary systems include Workday, payroll application, finance application, or how will you get your salary, right? Timesheet, how will you track your timesheet? Emails. Okay, so these are some of the basic ones that you get when you join an organization. Yeah. Now, key activities that happens. First, it collects the identity attribute from the source of truth, right? So what happens is when you join, your ID gets created in a HR system, Workday, let's say. From here, it's fed into the IGA system. IGA system feeds it back to any system. One of them could be sometime directory also, and sometimes IDP also. Let's say Okta ping. They could also be feeding it from here. So eventually, when a user tries to log in, right, authentication is happening on the IDP level. On the back end, you may have a directory attached or something like that. But any changes here, let's say tomorrow role changes, new groups are added, some changes will be synced back here. And sometimes this becomes a source of truth. Sometimes AD becomes a source of truth. Depends on organization to organization. And what do you mean by source of truth? A place, a system where you have, like, you do not go and make changes or overwrite things. Every system will get data from here. It's a system one, system two, some database different, right? Although user is making update, let's say I go and get request access for a new group. On the AD level, it will go and show me that new group is created or added, but that it's synced back to these systems. So any system, it could be IGA, it could be AD, as I said, depends upon organization to organization. That is what we call a source of truth. Okay. Then it creates user accounts in AD, identity stores, assign birthright access, provisions access to role specific applications like HR finance. And eventually, when we are doing all of this, why does it matter? Because it ensures the new employees are productive on day one. Okay. Reduces manual over onboarding delays. As I was discussing, there were a lot of delays. Prevents over provisioning. Sometimes if you go to, let's say, an IT team and say, I belong to the cyber team, they may give you every access that your friend will have, but you may not need them. So there should be a process defined that, okay, new hire will only get this five access. Then you can add, remove, you can do that. And it supports compliance, important bit. IJ systems are typically set up first to achieve the compliance piece. Then you have the security and user experience and productivity is there. But compliance, if you say my system is really secure, it gives full um, protection against threat and all, but yeah, it's not SOX compliance or GDPR or HIPAA, then definitely the company will say we don't need that, right? So first it should solve the compliance problem. So again, talking about the example, it is similar to what we discussed earlier. HR system creates a record, sale point, one of the IGA or Savient, Symmetry, provisions AD account. Okta enables SSO access to apps, right? A new hire employee automatically gets an email account, access to HR, collaboration tool, Team Slack. And because there is a joiner flow or a joiner task that has been kicked on the backend, hence all of this is possible. And common risk if you're not managing delays in access, incorrect access management, manual errors. Fine. So with this, we move on to the interview tips. What is joiner process in IAM? It is a process of creating user identity and provisioning access when they first join an organization. Simple. That's what we discussed. Yeah. What is birthright access? Access automatically granted to all employees during the creation of the IDs. And always mention the source of truth plus IAM tool, whichever, when explaining all of this. Just don't randomly say that, okay, I want to, I mean, JML is simply this. Try to add the tool and say like, okay, I was working in Savient and then we had a use case of creating joiner flow and then start, okay, in that joiner means this, birthright access means this. And what happened after this, you should add that also. What is the purpose? What did you do after giving birthright access? So add those also as the interview tip, as the interview when you're answering. And quick assignment, important, pick a sample role, any role, write down the three birthright access they should get automatically and two role specific access they should receive. So with this, we can summarize today's session and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.